All right. We ended up kind of synthesizing it, and the synthesis that we came up with almost comes out like the whole group. We need to do this for everything we talked about today. But over here, pretty ramshackle looking, were a bunch of items that we talked about in a little more detail, which I'll go through really quickly. Things that are already happening, things that need to happen, beekeeping, the eco-art gardening, which came up previously in the sustainability projects, coordinating food-raising activities. There was a lady that needs a deer fence put in at the community care center. Am I in a bad place? I'm afraid I'm going to get feedback here in a minute because I'm in front of that speaker. That's all right. They know we're food security. All right. And chicken processing. Matching up people that have gardens or garden space with gardeners, more seed security on the island, more information and activities around permaculture, cooperative farming like as they have over at the Shoulder to Shoulder farm near the co-op housing, whatever happened to you-pick farms on the island. These are just topics that came up. Making food more accessible, especially to folks that really can't afford good quality, high nourishing food, cooking classes, food preservation, and raw foods and the education that's going on the island around raw foods. So what happened? Yes, thank you. This is the story of my life. More tape. I need more tape in my life. So we kind of came together with kind of put it all together in the idea of pooling resources. There are some of those items on that list, if you want to look at it later. The ones that have an H by them are already happening on the island, either in some form or another. But we need more communication about what is happening on the island around food and gardening and what food is available and information about that. We need education. And Mark came up with the idea of the island as a school and how can we help and assist educating. For example, one example he said was, maybe I don't have a place that I can offer for people to garden. Maybe I don't have room for a garden, but maybe I have a spare room that I could lend that could be used by, say, an intern that's then working on a farm who is going to learn more about gardening. And so in an indirect way, you're supporting food raising on the island. Also more about the education about easy, more accessible gardening and such. And of course the cooking classes that are already going to be happening. So there's a lot of education that's happening and going to be happening, continuing to happen around food raising on the island. And then coordination so that, for example, sharing garden space, gardeners sharing garden space. And there's something going on, could be happening soon around that issue, helping to coordinate that effort. Also, gardening coordination so that if you're a gardener and you have another friend that's a gardener, maybe you trade times working in each other's garden so that you can enjoy working together in your gardening activities. And also the idea of tool sharing. How can we find ways to share especially expensive tools more? And an example of that that's happening right now is the chicken plucker, which is going to be available community-wide. But how can we make that happen with more kinds of tools on the island? So those are the three main areas that we came up with. Any questions? Well, one of the things that we talked about was perhaps, and this may be communication for a lot of these projects that are talked about in all of these areas, was maybe we need to see about funding someone that would have an overall website so that we hire someone to actually keep that website up to date and, that would do that kind of thing. Right. It's there for now, but it's keeping it up to date on basically with all of these projects going on a daily basis. How do we go about doing that? And that's something that needs to be addressed. And maybe somebody that's interested could plug into that, but not just for food, but for everything. Yeah. Any other? All right, thanks.